Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our English lesson. Today, we'll be learning more about big data and big insights. This is lesson 1.4 from the textbook. So, what is big data and big insights? First, before understanding big data, let us understand what is data. Data is any contact details, PDF files, pictures available on your mobile, laptop, desktop. It is an information, especially facts or figures, collected to be examined and considered, and which is helped in in decision making, or information in an electronic form that can be stored and used by a computer later on. So how does this big data give us big insights? We will be seeing by the icebreaker. Now, what is this icebreaker? Question number one. Give business suggestions to the respective industry for the following situation. One is done for you. Now, we already have a data about many passengers who prefer to fly between 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. from Mumbai to Delhi. So this is the information that we already have. And because of this information, we have made a suggestion that increase the number of flights between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. Now, the second business suggestion, many students are opting for UPSC, MPSC exams. So because of this, since we have this data, what suggestion can we do, or what suggestion can we make is we should have a standard guidance, study material, and how to give exams can be provided to these kind of students, so that it would be easier for them to make a decision on their career for their future. Another example, my dear students, is when you go and buy a outfit from a shopping mall, especially ladies love shopping. So when you go and buy an outfit from a shopping mall, you will not stop there. Once you buy an outfit, you would go to the cosmetic shop and buy some matching cosmetics. Then you would go to the shoe shop and buy some matching pairs of shoes. Then you would go to the accessory shop and buy some accessories. So what happens is, so if you are in a shopping center or mall, all these things which are provided under one roof, the ladies will be curious to visit the shopping center and will result into unbelievable market. So wherever you are going, you are giving your data, and that data, when they take your name, phone number, your contact details, they don't take it simply. They take it for storing that data so that they can give it to the companies, and when you go for your next purchase, you would find something similar to your choice. This is what happens in online shopping. Students, if you realize that when you buy a particular product online, that data is stored, and when you visit that site again, the site automatically shows you something. It already knows your waist size, it already knows your body type, so it automatically shows you something. It already knows your favorite color, so it automatically shows you something that is according to your taste and preference. Okay, in some cases few companies collect the data of customers. Okay, so wherever you go, as I said, wherever you go, you're giving out your data. For example, your age, your taste, your liking, their feedback. So the data helps the company to increase the production and satisfy every customer. So that data collection is very important, which provides the direction to move. So whatever data you're giving those people, it is stored, and that stored data is given to the company, so that company can improvise on their product depending on your taste and preference. Nowadays, when we enter any shopping center like D-Mart, Big Bazaar, they take the contact number and even the email ID. Since a mobile is registered, they store the data in the main server to know the necessary details. Digital technology is magical and a blessing as well. There is a team of experts who study the data, examine the data, and suggest innovative ideas. So there is a specific team assigned to do this work. They will examine your information, they will suggest innovative ideas, they will suggest ways to increase their business, they will suggest ways to decrease the production cost, just because of your personal information which is given. Therefore, big data definitely gives us big insights. Next, people get information from various sources. Can you name a few? Yes, we can. We use them always. Sources of information which people get about us is through Facebook for sure. Then the second is through your Instagram. Third is through your WhatsApp. So these are the various sources from which people get your information. Now coming to the main question, what is big data? Big data is nothing but a revolution. Now there, if you have seen, there's a revolution in the lifestyle of people which has been affected by big data. People's food habits, healthcare, traveling, and the scientific pursuits, everything has changed 360 degrees. And the data that has been available has really worked wonders for all. Friends, do you know what happens when you like a post on Facebook or share a post on WhatsApp? Visit any website, make online purchases, or watch videos. Yes, whatever activity we do online is recorded, monitored, and analyzed. So whatever activity we do, for example, I am browsing an education site, I am browsing an education page on Facebook, I am browsing something on grammar. So next time when I log in, I will get the same grammar page or something related to grammar. Okay, but your Facebook would be something different. Your Facebook, when you log in, maybe if you are fond of songs, maybe you will get a option of listening to some other songs which would be of your preference. Boys, if you log into the boys Facebook account, they, once you scroll down the pages, you would get options related to games, related to their outfits, related to their preference. So each and everybody's Facebook profile would be different. So a huge amount of data is collected every day. So can you imagine how much data is being collected? It is being collected and can be petabytes or exabytes of data consisting of billion to trillions of records of millions of people, all from different sources. So what are these sources of people? They come from different sources. For example, web, sales, customer contact, social media, mobile data, and so on. The available data to industries and companies is enormously increasing in volume, variation, velocity, veracity, and value. Such a big data is easy to obtain but so massive that it challenges the current computing technology, and hence big data analytics is used to give insights that were previously incomprehensible. Now there is big data available. However, the main challenge is that how do we store such big data? And the traditional computing technologies proves it difficult for storing. That is why big data analytics is used to give insights that are previously incomprehensible. So there is something that there is some tool that we can use to store big data. However, that tool we will not discuss in this lesson, because what is big data and the uses of big data is what is going to be taught in this lesson. Big data analytics is the complex process of examining large and varied data sets or big data to uncover information such as hidden patterns, unknown correlations, market trends, and customer preference. With such a huge data available in the industries, they can have innumerable advantage, and hence all the industries are trying to reap the maximum benefits from it. Many industries have advanced by miles from their competitors. It's not the huge amount of data that is important, but what the organization do with the data is what matters. Now, there is data available. There's a lot of data available, and companies pay millions to trillions to occupy that data, to procure that data. But only procuring is not enough, dear students. What you all do with that data is what matters, and how you all use that data correctly is what matters the most. Let us understand what is big data with few examples. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, YouTube. Each of this receive huge amount or volume of data on daily basis. It has been reported on a popular TED blog that Facebook receives 100 TB data on each day, whereas Twitter processes 400 trillion tweets each day. Similarly, LinkedIn and Google Plus, each of these receive tons of data on a daily basis. And finally, coming to YouTube, each minute around 48 hours of video are uploaded on YouTube. So you can imagine, dear students, how much volume of data is being stored and processed on this site. So this is nothing but this is big data. So what we were aware till now is that individual Facebook account or friends Facebook account. Have we ever imagined that Facebook itself is handling so many accounts of so many users, and there is so much information that is being passed around in and around Facebook itself? So what happens with that information and where is it sold? It is not possible to store such a large amount or huge amount of information with the traditional computing systems. So, and it is important to store this information because it contains minute details of the people. As the number of users keep on growing and multiplying on these sites, storing and processing the data becomes a challenging task. Since this data possesses a lot of valuable information, this data needs to be processed in a very short time and span. So by using this valuable information, companies can boost their sales and generate more revenue. So what happens with this information? This information is given to the companies, and with that information what happens is the companies use that kind of information to boost their sales, to make a little changes in their existing product, to make it more user friendly, to make it more pocket friendly, and to generate more revenues. By making use of the traditional computing system, we would not be able to accomplish this task within the given span of time, as the computing resource of the traditional system would not be sufficient for processing and storing such a large piece of data. This is where Hadoop comes in the picture. So where is all this data stored? It is stored in some app called as Hadoop. Now we will not be learning about Hadoop in this video or in this PPT. We will be learning about Hadoop sometime later, because this is not what is mentioned in your lesson. However, we will be talking about it because it is important for you all to know where this data is stored. Let's talk about another example for you all to understand big data better. Aircrafts, while flying, keep transmitting the data to the air traffic control. So there is not one aircraft that is flying high above the sky. There are many aircrafts flying. And so while they are flying, they keep talking. The aircrafts keep talking or keep transmitting the information to the air traffic control, which is also called as ATC. In turn, air traffic control uses this data to track and monitor the status and progress of the flight on the real-time basis. So air traffic control, what they do is, this picture is of the air traffic control. So what they do is they keep tracking the details of the flight, the temperature, the traffic in the sky, the weather conditions, the fuel efficiency. Everything is being monitored by the ATC. Since multiple aircrafts would be transmitting information, huge amount of data gets accumulated at the air traffic control within a short span of time. Therefore, it becomes challenging task to manage and process the data using traditional approach. Hence, we can term this big volume of data as big data. So now we know what is data. The data which we have with us in our mobile, in our laptop, is called as data. However, what is the difference between data and big data? You would know by these two examples which was just shared with you. Coming to the uses of big data. What are the uses of big data? GPS and Google Maps make uses of big data. The first one is location tracking. Now, have you ever wondered how do we get the real-time traffic updates, the real-time road updates on our Google Map? All is done because of this big data. And GPS and Google Map themselves use big data. So because of this big data, we get real-time information about traffic with the geographical positioning and radio frequency identification. So because of this big data and because of the information that we get on Google Maps, we can plan our own routes depending on the time we have and the type of goods that we are carrying with us. Now, my dear friends, if you've ordered something online and it has passed the due date, we start becoming restless. However, instead of calling the company directly, what we do is we check the barcode and start checking the position and the condition of and the location of the good, so we know exactly where our good is and why is it delayed. We can also check the condition of the goods, and this has helped the logistic company immensely. It has helped the logistic company to reduce the risk in transport, to improve the speed and also the reliability. So big data has helped in location tracking enormously. Next, understanding the weather patterns. Now, weather sensor and satellites have been installed everywhere around the globe. And because of this, huge amount of data is being continuously received and stored in those weather sensor and satellites. Because of that, it helps us understand the current weather. It can help us predict the future weather. It helps us in weather forecasting. So if you check the weather or if you check the updates on your mobile, you always get a message saying tomorrow likely to rain, tomorrow monsoon starts from 5th June. So this all happens because there is a lot of information which is stored in the weather sensor satellites, and that is why it gives us real-time information about the weather and the weather forecasting because of the big data which is being stored in the same. Weather pattern gives us warning of impending natural calamities like earthquake and floods. So it does not only give us real-time weather patterns, but it also makes us aware and alert about the natural calamities that would be coming our way, so that we would be prepared for any disaster management. And we could make some necessary preparation to combat them well in advance. Big data can also help us in studying global warming and predict the availability of water and so on. So once the data is fed, it has nowhere to go. It is stored there for permanently and for future use. So we can use that kind of data to predict global warming, to make changes, to understand the current scenario of the earth, to understand the availability of water, to balance out the availability of water with the number of people using it. So this is where big data comes into picture and the advantages of big data in understanding the weather patterns. Next, uses of big data in the healthcare industry. So now you would have realized most of us are health conscious. So because we are health conscious, we have smartphones with us, smart watches, other wearable apps. So once what happens is when you buy a smartwatch, the first thing that it asks you is to enter data. So what data you would enter is you would first link it with your phone, then you would write your name, you would write your age, you would write your weight, You would write your gender, then you would write some problem that whatever problems you would have, BP, diabetes, whatever. And once you start wearing your watch, it starts recording your real time basis. It is your own biomedical health device which makes you aware that now you have to walk, now you have to sleep, now you have to be alert, now you have to be active. This is this time you were active, this time you were walking. So it keeps a record of your steps, it keeps a record of your heartbeat, it keeps a record of your heart rate. And this is how it has helped the healthcare industries enormously. The analysis of data provided can give new insights and provide a personalized, individualized feedback to each and every person. So when you feed your personal information, by the end of the day, you get a individual feedback about your current weight yesterday, your weight yesterday, your current weight now, the number of calories, the number of the body weight, the water weight in your body, the water content in your body, the salt intake. Every minute details of your body is being analyzed by the smart watches or smartphone that you purchase and wear. How has it helped the healthcare industry is by 24 by 7 monitoring, which is provided to the patients in hospitals too. So there are some kind of apps which are used in the hospitals too. With the help of big data, doctors can provide big diagnosis of any ailment. So except for corona, we have diagnosis and the remedies for every ailment because of the data provided, because of the crucial data provided of our clients. Past record of the patients can be maintained and better analysis of the health industry can be obtained. So when you enter a hospital, what is the first thing they ask you to do? They give you a form and ask you to fill in all the details, all the minute details, your name, age, family history, health history. Have you been visited this hospital before? How did you come to know about this hospital? References. And it takes good 30 minutes to fill in those records because that record is nothing but the information that you share with the hospital, which is stored in the computer for a very long time. So next time when you visit the hospital, you don't have to fill in the details again. You just have to type your name or maybe the patient number and all the details come in. So when you go to the doctor, nowadays he will not write you a prescription. He will just mention the medicine and the person will come and deliver the medicine, and that's it. There is no need of a prescription. There is no need of handling the prescription, taking care of that prescription, because every record of yours is with the doctor. He knows in and out. Even if you call the doctor, you just have to tell him the patient number and he knows about your history and he can guide you better, just because of the big data and the records that are available in the hospital. So because of this big data, how does the pharmaceutical company benefit? Pharmaceutical companies pay huge amount to receive the health data of people to promote research in that region. So once they get the data, what pharmaceutical company do is they improvise on their current medicines, on their current researches. And once they do that, they go and promote their research in the particular region which has already been researched by them. With the data collected, the individuals are often given suggestions and solutions for the problems they are encountering. Next, banking, finance and trading. Investment patterns of people can be studied. Depending on the data, banks and finance companies come up with a suitable plan. Now, for example, if you have made an investment in some or the other shares, so that data is being shared. And once that data is being shared with the banks and finance companies, what happens is the banks will automatically call you and say that you have made an investment with so and so company, make an investment with us, we have better plans, less rate of interest, more returns, and so on. So bank and financial institutions use big data to prevent cybercrime and card fraud. So it is not only used for information, it is also used for our own benefit, wherein they prevent the cybercrime and card fraud from happening, which we need to be very careful with. Big data not only helps in predicting cybercrimes but also issues related to mistransaction and failures in the net transaction. For example, if you're making a payment through Google Pay, many a times the payment does not go through. Okay, so because of this, the bank knows, because of the big data, it helps in predicting cyber crimes and also the transaction which is missed. So if you see, after a day, maybe 24 hours or 48 hours later, it is either being credited to that person's account which you would be sending money to, or maybe it is already in that account. So it takes care of the missed transactions and the failures just because of this big data which is stored in the financial institution. The Security Exchange Commission is using big data to monitor financial market for possible illegal and suspicious activity. So whatever data is there is secure. If it is in the hands of the right people, for example, banks and financial institutions, it is secure. There's no need to worry. And they are always monitoring the data to reduce the illegal and suspicious activities that go on. Next, big data is also used in sports. So when we are watching a cricket match, students, what we are shown, if you're watching an intense match, what we are shown is a lot of permutation and combination of a statistical data. So if Sachin Tendulkar is batting, and we need to see that how did Sachin Tendulkar hit a six, and which angle did he hit a six, and how did the six go flying up in the sky. So we see a lot of combinations of the data which is being provided on our TV. It also shows the data of the matches played by Sachin Tendulkar, the number of sixes that he has made, the number of runs that he has made, the number of times he's got out, the number of matches he's played with a particular team. All this data is a lot of data which is being stored in the system. The gigantic data has been created over a period of time from recording the match. So each match has been recorded, and after each match that has been recorded, all the data of each match has been stored, be it training workouts, the training sessions, everything. Each data of the player is stored, every minute details of the player is. And how has it helped the sports industry? Is it has helped in improving the team's performance as well as individual performance. Now, if a coach has to tell the person that you're not doing a good job, he will just not tell that you're not doing a good job. He will show him a lot of number of videos of his own play, okay, and help him improve his team performance and individual performance simultaneously. Now, everybody knows that there are, when a person gets out in the cricket field, there's some kind of a sound that comes up, correct? So these are nothing but the sensors which are installed, embedded in the sports field. And because of these sensors which are embedded in the sports field, it is nothing but the sports equipment which helps us understand the game from close quarters. The sensor helps us to understand the field conditions, the weather, the individual performances, etc. So the sensor is a very minute thing. However, it gives us a lot of insight. So students, this is what insight is. Big data gives us a lot of insight. Knowing information about, knowing personal and minute information about an individual is called as insight. So these sensors give us an insight about the play that is going on in that particular area at that particular time. Advertising. Advertisers are one of the biggest players in big data. be it Facebook, Twitter, or any other online giant, all keep a track of user behavior and transaction. These internet giants provide a great deal of data about people to advertise so that they can run targeted campaigns. So if you go on Mintra and you buy something, correct? So you need to fill in all your details, like the type of your body, um, the type, the weight, your waist size, your height. So depending on all these information, you have been shown some kind of outfits. From that, from many outfits you have been choosing just a few. So the next time when you go into those sites, automatically, now since you have browsed on Mintra, when you go on Facebook, automatically whatever you have been browsed is shown on Facebook. Automatically whatever you've been browsed, what are you looking for, is shown on Instagram. This happens because each and every data of yours is being monitored and analyzed minutely. So these companies don't want you to divert your attention. So since they know that yes, you have liked this piece, but you have closed the site and gone to some other site. So that is why they keep reminding you that this is the piece that you like, this is the discount that we can offer. You can pair so and so shoes with it, you can pair so and so jeans with it. So they give you a lot of information and a lot of combination so that you are bound to buy that product, and that is why they start generating the revenue that is required. For example, facebook Facebook targets people based on their buying intent, website visit, interests, job roles, demographics, and whatnot. And this is made possible using big data. So, as I said earlier, my Facebook page would be different from yours. It depends on what I search. So, my Facebook would be more of cooking, more of kids stuff, job, more of saris, more of e-learning, more of online classes. My youtube search would be how to take online classes, how to make ppts, how to make animated ppts, all this. However, your youtube would be different. Your youtube would be maybe something about physics, something about commerce, something about dance, drama, how to make tiktok videos. So that is what I'm saying. It is different from individual to individual, and that is made possible using big data. A lot of information about individual is being stored in the computing technology using big data. Entertainment and media. In the field of entertainment and media, big data focuses on targeting people with the right content on the right time. So the people already know about you. They know about the likes and dislikes. So whenever you log into any site, they know what kind of content to show you and at what time. Based on the past views and behavior online, you will be shown different recommendations. For example, YouTube and Netflix to increase engagement and drive more revenue. Now my Netflix again would be different with your Netflix. My YouTube would be different from YouTube. Based on what we have searched last comes up our new engagements. So our recent videos is based on what we have watched previously. Our new movie would be based on what we have watched previously on Netflix. And because of this, the Netflix and YouTube increase engagement and make more revenues based on individualized content. Education industry. Big data has inundated the education industry. It has transformed into leaps and bounds. We have information of students and their study pattern, and we can prepare a customized dynamic program according to the needs of individual students. So how is big data helping the education industry? Each and every data of a student is being stored. How academically good or bad they are is also being stored. So with this stored data, what companies do, what Byju's do is he makes a program so that one program will fit all kind of students, be it an average student, a below average student, or above average student. One education app will be enough for all. So that is why it says one size fits all, which means one app is suitable for every kind of child, be it below average, above average, or average. And that education app is customized according to what students of that class requires or needs. Big data makes it convenient to understand the students' choices, their difficulty, information regarding various courses and their specialities. And they also have the access to the results of the students, and from the results they can gauge the students' progress, understand the strengths and weaknesses. Once they understand the strengths and weaknesses, what they do is they start guiding the students depending on the best career opportunities based for him or her. A depth study of this will definitely give new insights to the education industry. So now students, you would know how big data gives us big insights. Big insights is nothing but a personal information that is shared, a deep understanding of what something is like. So because of the big data, we have big insights of people, how they are, what are their likes and dislikes, what are their preferences, what are their tastes. Everything is known because of the data which is stored in the computing technology. And yes, there are innumerable uses of big data, and it is helpful in scientific research, understanding the geographical phenomena, helping in the smooth functioning of the government machinery. Now, for example, students, we receive a data every day depend on coronavirus. So, how do you think we receive this data? There is this data which is being stored from innumerable number of people. So all this data is being collected from various people, stored into one location, and then sent to various other people. So now when we log into the net, we have the information about the number of active cases, the number of discharge cases, the number of new cases, what the government is doing, how we can deal with them, what are the precautionary measures that we can have. Now big data will just give us information. What we do with that information is totally depending on the companies or us. The big data gives us information about the number of shops that are open now. So what we do with that information is whether to step out or to remain safe is totally up to us. So the big data is like a genie in our hands, and it is upon us. It lies in the hands to make the optimum use of it to for the benefit of mankind. So that was all about big data, students. So if you have any doubt regarding big data, big insights, you can post your doubts in the WhatsApp group. And in the meanwhile, you'll have to do the assignments. The assignments, YouTube has many videos on various things. So this is a chance for you all to watch YouTube, listen to the uses and health benefits of lime, Nimbu, and share them with your friends. So make a list of health benefits of lemon and share it with me so that your friends also can see it. Next is make point-wise notes from the lesson regarding the uses of big data in the following application, which has already been discussed here. You all can use the textbook, or you can use the PPT for your references. Next, do as directed. These three sentences, this is nothing but degrees of comparison. Go back to the degrees of comparison PPT. check the rules, and then rewrite the sentence accordingly. So advertisers are one of the biggest players in big data. So you have to rewrite the sentence using very few. So very few model we have done, no other model we have done, equal and unequal model we have done. So use all these models and complete these three sentences, degrees of comparison. And that's it for today, students. This is your assignment which has to be submitted by tomorrow 10 a.m. Thank you everyone.